What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey, y'all, I'm JJ.
Hey, guys, it's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests to share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to speak of them or talk about them or in any way portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. It would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
At Radiolab, we love nothing more than nerding out about science, neuroscience, chemistry.
But we do also like to get into other kinds of stories. Stories about policing or
Politics,
country music,
hockey,
sex, of bugs.
Regardless of whether we're looking at science or not science, we bring a rigorous curiosity to get you the answers.
And hopefully make you see the world anew.
Radiolab, adventures on the edge of what we think we know.
Wherever you get your podcasts.
Let's hang out. Let's hang out. And let's talk about what legends have found. Let's hang out. And let's listen to two lesbians shout. Let's hang out. Let's hang out.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Lez Hang Out. I'm Ellie Brigida.
And I'm Leigh Holmes Foster, and here's what's happening this week.
This week in the Lesdom.
This week in the Lesdom is a place where we can touch base each episode about things going on with the podcast or otherwise. We have our final Season 7 Patreon bonus episode coming out on June 24th. Our most recent one, Tell It to the Bees, came out last week. And our next and final one will be on Tuong Fu.
Thanks for everything.
I know.
Love Julie Newmar.
I was like, should I say the whole title? But we're really excited about that. That's going to be our 22nd Patreon bonus episode. So if you're like, we're about to go on hiatus soon, and you're like, I wish I had more Lez Hang Out, now is the perfect time to get caught up with that back catalog of Patreon bonus episodes at bit.ly/LezPatreon.
We also want to remind you that starting today, our second release of Journey to the Heart kicks off. So we are re-releasing episodes 1 and 2, and then starting with episode 3, all of the votes that everyone made the first release cycle, everything's going to be flipped. We're going to be releasing a new path through the story, and that kicks off today. So if you haven't listened yet, or if you want to just start now with episode 1, you can do that. You can find Journey to the Heart anywhere you listen to podcasts.
In the greater Lez universe and the gay universe in general, happy Pride.
It's Pride Month.
It's Pride
here.
Month.
It's
here.
Gay Christmas.
Oh my God, it's Gay Christmas. It's my gay hell. I'm just
How do you
kidding.
feel about summer months, Ellie?
No, I'm so excited. I just have, you know what? I started a gay band for this reason. And you know what? It's working. But I am booked and busy during Pride Month. I think I'm actually performing at 19 different Pride events. So if you're in Boston and you want to come see me, I can venture to guess you will see me at some point on Pride. But I'm going to just shameless plug. We have a Gay Get City Winery on June 9th, Pride Brunch with the Femmes. You better come and see me there. Come say hi.
All of you, no matter where you are. Better come out to Boston.
Honestly,
Pride
travel to
brunch.
Boston. Why not? It's Pride weekend in
Do
Boston, so you can do a nice Pride weekend and also see me gig. Ding,
Hooray.
ding.
Happy
How
Pride.
about your Pride, Leigh? What, a little less busy than mine?
I will be home taking my kids to summer camps, but with Pride. I'll be doing it.
You do
with
always
Pride.
do it with Pride, yeah.
Yeah, great. In more womp womp Pride news, listen, there is a school in California. I don't know where Palo Cedro, California is, but wherever it is, there's a couple, 2 girls who are dating at Foothill High School who were nominated for prom royalty. And I would like to say a hearty Pride fuck you to this school, because essentially in the past, the way that they've always done this is they voted for couples in pairs, right?
Mm.
So if you had like a couple, like a boy and a girl who were dating and they were nominated for like the prom court, like you would vote for them as a pair. And these two girls dating got nominated, and the school was like, well, actually, we're not doing it that way anymore. Like, you have to vote for like a boy and a girl.
Yeah.
Right? So they basically like changed the rules solely because this lesbian couple got nominated. And their reasoning, are you ready for it? Their reasoning is, well, it would be unfair to the gender not represented.
So, oh no, because a boy wouldn't be able to win
Yes.
prom king. Oh.
If they
Wah,
won,
wah, wah.
yeah, the world's tiniest violin is playing somewhere right
Yeah.
now for the poor. Just won't somebody think of the men? Oh no.
No.
So, anyways, I think we need a quick dose of the prom to descend upon this town. So, Foothill High School. Just what are you doing? Really, for Pride Month?
Yeah,
For Pride
that's
Month, that's what you're doing. Okay, that's
ridiculous. In better news, Chapel Roan broke Boston Calling. Basically, they couldn't fit the amount of people that were trying to see Chapel Roan. I mean, to be fair, Boston Calling fucked up and they oversold the entire event. But if you look at that video, it is insane the amount of people that were there to see Chapel Roan. So I'm just like, in general, Chapel Roan is having like the renaissance that she deserves. And it's just really cool to see the gigantic swarms of people who are going to see like this like super in your face queer artist.
Yeah.
Like
I'm air clapping because clapping is annoying on a podcast, but I'm air clapping for Chapel Roan.
So
that's what's happening this week. Back to you, Ellie and Leigh.
thanks, Ellie and Leigh, and welcome to our 127th installment of Should've Been Gay.
Oh, it was fun, it was great, but it should have been a little more gay.
And in this week's episode, Silencio Bruno!
Silencio straight Bruno.
Silencio Bruno!
Just tell that little straight boy in your mind to shut the hell up.
That is exactly correct. Yes.
Yep.
Great. Glad we both saw the same movie.
Oh,
Ellie.
yeah. I knew we would. I knew we would.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is going to be a doozy.
Today, we are going to be talking about the 2021 smash Disney hit, Luca. Obviously. 2021? I feel like this just came out.
I feel like this happens to us often. We're like,
What is time?
you know, this movie came out, everyone's like, do it, Should've Been Gay. We're like, yeah, well, it's like tomorrow. We're going to do it tomorrow. And then it's 2 years.
2 years ago in 1998?
Yeah, that's 2 years. But we're here with 3 years. 3 years.
Yes. Do you not? What year is it, Ellie?
I don't know anymore. We are recording this in the past, listeners. We've recorded this in 2022.
Great.
Time is irrelevant. But it is crazy that this came out so long ago.
Yeah, I swear this just happened. It's
I
fine.
swear it also just
fine.
happened, and you know, we missed the metaphorical boat, but we're back on it. We're here. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
For anyone who isn't familiar with the film Luca, here is the baffling IMDb synopsis for this movie. On the Italian Riviera, an unlikely but strong friendship grows between a human being and a sea monster disguised as a human.
Okay, so they're trying to say that the
answer.
central relationship
Yeah.
in this
Yeah.
is Julia
Yeah.
and Luca.
Either that or the person who wrote this did not actually see the movie and thinks that Alberto
Is a
human.
I don't think. I think
I'm
this
not
is
positive.
I think this is the ultimate straight wash.
I also think there's something really funny about the sea monster disguised as a human. Like, I'm just picturing him with like one of those big floppy silicone masks on his face.
Like a Richard
Right?
Nixon
As opposed
mask.
to like a sea monster who becomes human when dry. Like,
Yeah, that's just it's a lot of words, you know.
it's
They
a-
only
it's a-
had
it-
they had a small word count.
yeah, it's just sort of it's creating a weird like different canonical version in my mind where they're just like in big costumes, like
And human
big
being costumes. Yes.
big human costumes that they're kind of like galloping around in, like when humans dress as a horse, you know?
Yes.
Like
it
sort
is
of a
exactly
la that vibes, and I don't know what's happening, and that's this IMDb synopsis has nothing to do with the movie.
It's not right. No, it's not right.
No. So, do you have a better gayer synopsis for us, Ellie?
Yes. I would say in this gayer retelling of The Little Mermaid, um,
Yeah, sure. Yep.
our
yep.
young sea creature, Luca, goes up to the surface where he's always wanted to be free and meets another gay sea monster who takes him under his little gay wing. And Luca finds a world of gayness and new life that he never knew was possible and that he can't get enough of. And that's
So true.
what I saw.
So true.
That's what I saw.
Yeah, why wasn't this a musical? Honestly,
Mhm.
really a missed opportunity.
It is so it's so Little Mermaid coded also.
Yeah.
What about you, Leigh?
Okay, here's my gay synopsis for Luca. I said a baby gay tries to U-Haul with his first boyfriend, but finds it difficult without any wheels. So they team up with a tiny dyke on a bike to win some prize cash money and buy a Vespa, the gayest of two-wheeled vehicles.
Yes. Honestly, so true. It's also like the whole point of it is like he meets him and he's like, yes, let's run away together.
Yes. Yes.
Like it's like a day and he's like, oh my God, how amazing would it be if we just took a car, took a little baby Vespa and I could hold you from the back and we could live
Ellie.
a beautiful gay life in the Italian countryside together forever, away from my family, away from everything I've ever known. I'll throw it all away for you.
I'm
It's
gonna have a lot to
epic.
say about some
It is
things
an
in this
epic,
movie.
epic gay love story.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
what was your experience? Because you're the one who suggested this for us. Tell
Yes.
us a little bit.
Okay, because 2021, I did not see Luca, and it's like this happens to me very often. I feel like I see like every Pixar movie I've ever seen, I watch on a plane. Like
Yeah.
I'm on a plane and I'm like, what is left in the Pixar universe that I haven't seen? Right. So I was looking up stuff on the plane and I was on my way to visit to see my sister in Istanbul. I had like a 10-hour flight. So I watched a lot.
You really struggled with that flight too.
Yeah. I watched a lot. I watched a lot of things. Okay. So I decided to watch Luca. And I had known that it was gay because everyone said it was gay, but I watched it. It was very emotional for me also. It is a very beautiful coming out story. Like, it really is. I was very emotional. And I was like, damn, we have to do this for Should Have Been Gay. And so I feel like I texted you pretty much immediately and I was like, Luca, Should Have Been Gay. I finally watched it. We need to talk about this. So that was my experience. What about you, Leigh?
My experience is that you texted me that, and I watched it in the last like 2 days.
Great.
So this is like fresh. This is fresh for me.
This
fresh,
is about
like,
a
Luca's
month
coming
ago.
out journey.
Yeah, this is about a
like-
month ago for me too. So
Yeah.
like, it is quite new.
Yeah, but I similarly hadn't seen it because I am living the worst life of a parent of young children where my kids won't watch movies. So I have all these movies that I was like, oh, this is fine. Like this came out and I was like, great, I'll watch this in a couple years when my kids are old enough to watch a movie. And instead, my kids are terrified by every movie ever made. And they won't get further than like 20 minutes into anything when like as soon as a minor chord hits in the movie, like my kids have to turn it off. So I haven't watched this yet, but you know, I'd been waiting and excited because everyone was talking about how blatantly gay it is. And I mean, honestly, the subtlety of the coming out themes in these movies these days is really
It is so on the nose.
It's a paper thin veil on top of this metaphor, right? Like
yes. So I feel like here's what I'm gonna say. Before we really dive into the film, like talking about the gayness of it, I would like to talk about the quote unquote canon of this film, right?
Do you mean the two elderly lesbians at the end?
No. I mean, but yes.
The ice cream dykes. As
I do love ice
choosing
cream
to call
dykes.
them now.
No, I mean the discussion around the film because the film is not gay.
Sure.
They specifically did not.
Okay.
They did not make it gay, and the director said because the director specifically said that they discussed it and they talked about making it gay. And I'm just going to read this quote because I think it's important. We talked about it. And I mean, I think the reason probably we didn't talk about it as much and to a certain degree, we're slightly surprised by the amount of people talking about romance, is that we were really focusing on friendship and more pre-romance. But it is a kind of love, right? There's a hugging and it's physical. And my experience as a straight man certainly wasn't that. The things we did talk a lot about is what is the metaphor here for being a sea monster, for being different. And some people seem to get mad that I'm not saying yes or no. But I feel like, well, this is a movie about being open to any difference. And so that's where I want to start us because I feel like that's the biggest cop-out I've ever fucking heard in my life.
Yeah, that's a little sad. That's just kind of, it's a little pathetic.
And
you know what this
it's
feels
not
like?
about any difference. It's literally about coming out. It's about being gay. That's what's different about him.
Here's the thing. I was really expecting a quote to kind of go in the vein of, you know, like when they used to talk about Xena and they were like, I mean, listen, we couldn't make it gay, but we came as close as we fucking could, right? Like we got away with whatever we could get away with. I feel like that I would have respected more than this. I feel like if you had just come out and said like, it's a kids movie, we didn't want to sexualize these kids. So like, yes, obviously like there's something there, but they're young and like, you know, it's not going to go in a, like, they're dating direction. Like, they're children. I would have respected that.
Yep.
That's a respectable statement. That
Well,
you
I think
could have
that's
made
sort
about
of what
this
he's
movie.
saying about, like, pre-romance, quote unquote. But it is. It's like, he's trying to be like, well, it's about any difference you want to put on it is really what it's about. And it's like, it's about these two gay kids.
Yeah.
Right? Like
it's just about the difference of like one sea monster whose mom wants to send him to deep sea conversion camp,
literally,
and another sea monster whose
parents
abandoned by
disowned him,
his father,
right? Like literally, what in the fucking world?
And those two sea monster boys finding each other and hugging a lot and being super close and being like a newfound family, if you will. Like I don't know why we have to make it a gay thing. I mean. It's, okay, sure, we hear you loud and clear, buddy.
Together,
we hear you.
And holding each other
under the stars,
and holding each other's waists on a Vespa.
Ellie, stop! You have to stop bringing up the holding each other on the Vespa scene because I'm trying to keep it. I'm trying to keep it restrained a little, and I'm not. If we're going there right off the bat, like this episode's going off the rails so
well,
fast.
And also, you have
to let me work up to this.
We're gonna work up to that. Okay, so I'm gonna start there. So let's just start with Luca and his own personal journey, right? Luca is, like I said, a little mermaidy, right? It's very much like something else has to be out there, right?
Yeah,
like something
Luca's
better
like 3
than
steps
this.
from finding a fucking fork and combing his hair in the beginning of this movie. Luca's like, let me just look up longingly. Oh, Giuseppe, I bet your buddy Enrico is like out seeing the world. Or he's dead. He's probably dead. Or he's just exploring the surface. Like,
I mean, Enrico's definitely dead, but it is like, you know, that whole, there has to be something better than this life, right? And he gets basically yanked out of the closet by an elder gay, right?
Luca's just under that water like, I want to be where the gay clubs are. And he's like, they're up there in Porto Rosso. Okay?
Yeah, exactly. But literally, doesn't he literally rip him out of the water when they first meet?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Like, what? It's like, he's like, Alberto's like, I see another gay sea monster. And he's like, I've been alone for so long. Come here, little gay boy. And he just pulls him out, right?
He full on shoves him out of that closet.
And then it's like the elder gay too. He's like, I'm going to teach you everything I know. But the thing I love about Alberto too is like, he's an elder gay, but he's still a young idiot gay.
No,
right?
Wait, can I tell you how I have decided I relate to Alberto in my head? He's a Jojo Siwa gay.
Yes.
That's what he is. He's like,
let me tell you
I've been out
everything."
here being gay for so long, and I know all the gay things. And Luca's like, name a gay pop artist. And Alberto's like, so anyways, come up to my gay tower.
Literally so true. Like, he knows nothing. And he's
Jojo Siwa. He's a Jojo Siwa gay. We're like, that's what we're doing here. He's like, do you want to see my dance? I made a music video. Anyways.
To be fair, the Karma's a Bitch music video is on that beach.
It's them on the island.
And they're just humping on the beach. That's so bad. I'm dead. But yes, so he literally yanks.
Sorry, no, wait, I'm sorry. I can't be done yet because I just need to say, karma's a bitch. I should have known better. If I was a fish, I would have never messed around. Okay, anyways, we can continue now. You're
All right, we
welcome.
can
You're
go.
welcome.
So, right, and the first day he goes out, he's like, oh my God, like, that was cool, that was exciting, but, like, no, it's bad. Like, I can't be gay, right? It's
Yeah,
very,
I'm just
like,
a good kid. I'm
Yeah.
just a good kid, he says, Ellie.
mm-hmm.
I can't be an above the surface gay boy. I'm just a good kid. I'm just a
Exactly.
good fish.
And then he goes back down, and all he can think about is the gay. Like, he's just dreaming about the fucking gayness, right?
This is a kid who snuck out and went to a gay club one time,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then he like cannot
He can't stay away. Right?
The big
He's like,
city's calling him.
he's like, being gay was even better than I thought it was gonna be. And now I'm really scared because I'm like,
There was another one just like me. Someone out there is just like me.
Mhm. Exactly. And then the second day, he's like, all right, fine. I like this. I'm in. He's like walking. They're like going up to the tower, talking about Vespas. Like, literally, he's like, oh my God. So we could leave here together on this Vespa?
We could go see the world.
Mm-hmm.
The whole world at our fingertips.
Mm-hmm. Is the second day when he falls asleep?
Yes?
I think.
I think so. Because
'Cause
they built the Vespa all
They're
day.
building the Vespa. Yeah. And it's like also the thing about that too that cracks me up. I'm gonna go way too far with this. But I liken that Vespa scene to lesbian sex.
Okay, I liken that to a different kind of sex, but let's hear it.
No, because he's like, no, I really have to leave. You know what I mean?
Oh, the building it scene?
The building.
Where it's like, the one where it's like 45 minutes
Yeah,
later,
yeah.
And then they're
And
like,
he's
okay,
like,
I really have to
I
go now.
really have to
1
go.
hour later.
Yeah. He's like, no, I'm so sorry. I really have to go. And
2 a.m. No,
Yeah.
I really need to get home now. 3
Yeah.
a.m.
That's-
Okay, listen, this has to be the last
yes,
time.
this is
4
the last
a.m.
time. Yeah, that's exactly. I knew you would understand.
How is it even possible to keep going? 5
I
a.m.
knew you would understand. And I was dying laughing as I was watching this. I was like, "Oh God, it is." It's like your first few weeks with your new
Yeah.
girlfriend, and you're like,
Yeah.
and he's like, "I can't." And then he does. He literally is like, "I need to leave. I need to leave." And then I think he doesn't fall asleep the first time. He does go back, and he doesn't get caught. I think his grandmother sees him, but not his mom. And then the second time, they're like doing all the best. Yeah.
You're right. It's because the time he falls asleep, because this is what's coming back to me now,
Mhm.
Ellie, is the time he falls asleep is after they do the whole riding down the hill
Yes.
thing, which are we doing this now?
Yeah.
Okay. So, when we watch these movies sometimes, and we're like, listen, we're not out here trying to sexualize, like, kids in movies, okay?
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, Disney Pixar, how dare you? How dare you give us a scene where Alberto's like, listen, it's fine, I can ride down this hill by myself. I'll just do it by myself. I don't need you to be involved in this. I can just do this on my own, right? Like, I can take things in my own hands. Okay, sure, Alberto, fine. Does that a couple times, and then he's like, no, I just really need you to ride down this hill with me.
Mm-hmm.
And so Luca, who is like, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready to go all the way down the hill with you.
Oh God.
Right? He's like, I just don't know, Alberto. I don't know. And then Alberto's like, when you hear that little straight voice in your head, like, you just have to, like, we all saw Book of Mormon. He's like, put it in a box and crush it. Silencio Bruno. Okay? And so instead, they get on this little, like, what do you even call this? This is like a scotch taped together,
Yes.
like, rickety Vespa that they have, just gay audacity'd their way into building. And they go down this hill, right? And they get right as they're coming down to go off that ramp, and the thing
Mhm.
starts falling apart. And I'm sorry, I can't even apologize for this, but there's that scene, and Luca, like, Luca's on the back, and he's sitting behind Alberto, and he has to reach forward and, like, fully pull Alberto's body, like, spooned up against
Mhm.
his, and then there's this explosive. They
Oh,
take
God.
off. And I'm so serious, Ellie. Watch that scene again, because I swear to God, he pulls him against his body, and then they explode into this cutscene fantasy where he's like, I'm up in the sky, and the
Oh,
sun
God.
is shining, and birds are flying past me while I clutch this other boy as hard against the
Mhm.
front of my body as I can.
Yep.
And I'm just
I
like,
see
I
it.
mean, listen, I'm like, I didn't
You
do
didn't do it.
this.
You didn't write
I
it.
didn't do
You
this.
didn't write it.
But you watch that scene and you tell me that that is not like two little gay boys
Yep.
just going all the way for the first time, and his whole world like explodes into sunshine and birds and
Mhm.
sunlight and clouds, and he's They are flying.
They are
fully
constantly, they're
flying
flying.
through the air, and his whole life has changed in this one moment.
Yep.
Right? And that whole change is all shown
Yep.
visually in a certain way that, like, I don't know if the director knows about this or not.
I mean, he said he was straight, but I don't know.
I don't know if the director of this movie is aware of what scene he just painted a picture of for us, but, like,
He did it.
I mean, I know what I watched.
Oh my God. I mean, I see it for sure. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it is a lot of, like, it's all firsts, right? It's like his first time at the gay bar. It's his first time with a man. It's like his first time everything, right? And he's just like,
And then they go back to that tower, and he's like, "Oh no, I fell asleep."
Mhm.
Like,
like, how
I
are you gonna fall
just-
asleep? Exactly.
How are you gonna make that scene and not think that it looks like something else? That's all.
I see it. I see
He
it.
fell
for sure.
asleep. He fell asleep.
He fell
asleep
asleep. He was so tired.
after that bike ride. After riding down the hill together, he fell asleep. Sometimes
Mhm.
you fall asleep afterwards. Is
Sometimes
all,
you do.
okay?
Mhm.
Sometimes it's just hard to drag yourself home
Oh my God, that's so bad, but so
after
true.
an explosively good
and-
time. Okay.
We get it, Leigh. We get it. But let's.
Oh,
keep-
sure, you're allowed to talk about lesbian sex until 5 a.m., but I
It's
can't
so
watch
different.
the scene that happened
It's so
in the
different.
movie.
No,
Okay?
it's fine. But we need to continue. So yes, I agree. I see it. It happened. So after their first time, he's like, "Shit, I have to go home to my mother." And what's the first thing that she tries to do to him?
Conversion camp.
Sends him to fucking conversion camp. And the uncle, he's like, "Oh yes, there's always a bad influence."
Yep.
If that is not
His uncle is waiting in the fucking corner like a weird priest, like deep sea
Mhm.
fish monster who's he's like, yep, I see what you mean. It's a good thing you called me. And you're like, oh, this is every
conversion
like,
camp.
yeah,
movie
this is
we've
every
ever
like
seen.
you're getting
Yeah.
sent with this is but I'm a cheerleader. This is
Yes.
Cameron Post. This
Yes.
is like we've seen this 100 times. We know
Yes.
this scene.
Exactly. And I'm like, to say, oh, it's open to any difference when you literally have a scene about conversion camp is like, are you?
Yeah.
Come on. So whatever. So he's like, I'll bring you down and keep you safe. And what's the first thing that Luca does? Run
away.
fuck away. Because
course
he
he
is not going to
does.
conversion camp. He's a gay little boy who needs to live his gay little boy life.
He needs to go to the big city and chase his dreams with his boyfriend. Like, what else are you gonna do?
Exactly. So he goes back up to the surface, and now things are going to get a little crazy because him and Alberto are now going
Meet
to
a lesbian?
meet a lesbian. Yeah. And it's complicated because compet. And I think, there's a lot of jealousy going on in these.
Mm.
Alberto gets very jealous of Julia. And I feel like it's dumb because Luca's like, what are you talking about? Of course I'm not into Julia. She likes women. And Alberto's like,
She's
No.
such a
oh,
little
she's
baby dyke.
such a lesbian. Oh my God.
God.
She shows up to save him on a bike, right?
yeah.
The hair, the outfits, the like, I'm gonna win this thing by all costs. The like,
And
I know.
why do you want to win? Just to show everyone that I can, that I'm better than that man. Like
Mhm.
that's the whole.
She
That's her
really
only
wants to
motivating
prove
factor.
that man who sucks needs to go
Yeah.
down.
They're like, why do you want to win, Julia? She's like, the patriarchy. That's why. I need to take down the patriarchy. What other reason? None.
None.
Zero other
Zero.
reasons. And who's been doing it with me? No one, just me. I'm the only gay here. It's been just me on a team by
Exactly,
myself,
and she's
pounding
like-
pasta, and I can't do it by myself anymore.
And she's like, thank God you two little gay boys showed up.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, if you were the sole lesbian, like, single-handedly trying to do this fucked up pasta triathlon, like, wouldn't you be thrilled if two little twinks fell out of the ocean, like, into your lap, and we're just like, here we are, we're here to be your team of misfit queers, and she's like, yes.
Sure.
Like, they're like, we're the underdogs, and I'm like,
I
that's
know.
one way to say gay, sure.
I know.
Like, we hear you loud and clear, okay?
We are team gay. Like, so it's so much. And that's the thing too, like when you talk about like comp het or heteronormativity too, like they don't put Luca and Julia together really.
No. No,
Like,
not at all.
There's a storyline of like Luca and Julia sort of like, well, I guess towards the end they do, like they leave together, but like you never think they're like interested in each other.
I don't think the movie even tries to
No.
pretend that they are.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I don't feel like the movie even close to puts them in that situation, right? So like
no.
other movies might like lean into the, oh no, of course they're not gay because he's with Julia. Like, no, it's like
No.
a very platonic relationship between Julia and Luca. It's very like she's like, let me teach you about these things, kid, and whatever. And
Here, this is a fork, and I mean, again, on the scale of like Little Mermaid shout outs, the fact that like there's such a
Mhm.
there's such a storyline theme built around the use of forks. They're really
They're leaning in. Well, and
it's
also
an homage.
I like
you
to
know?
look.
a little homage to
Yes.
the original.
I like to actually look at. So we have Alberto, right? Baby elder gay. He's like, oh, I found
Sure.
a younger gay who's dumber than me. Whatever.
Yeah.
Julia has been out and gay for a long time, and she's like, oh, Alberto told you that?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? No, this is what being gay is about. And Alberto's like, don't tell my boyfriend how to be gay. I'm the only one who tells my boyfriend how to be gay. And like that's their whole conflict, Julia and Julia's like, I don't get why Alberto's like not like she's not trying to be antagonistic towards him at all. She's just like,
Yeah.
I just know how to be gay better than you, dude.
She's
I've
just
been
had more
here.
experience, you know?
Yeah, she's
Listen.
like, I come here for the summer, and then during the year I get to be gay as hell. But like when I'm here over the summer, everyone's like, she's a weird little gay girl. Right? She really is like, she's like, I'm here for the summer, and then everything's fine. Like my school's pretty gay. But here
Yeah, she's like, I go back to Geneva. It's 20 times the size of this. There's gays everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Like, we go clubbing every night. But then I come
Exactly.
here, and it's just me. Well, and I do love when she goes to sign up, and, like, the pasta lady at the sign-up sheet is like, just you again, Julia? And she's like, I found other gays! Like,
Mhm.
here they are!
And yes,
Team
okay,
Pride!
and let's talk about freaking what's his name? Urkele?
Let's take a quick break. We're gonna come back and talk about Ercole, yes.
Hey, do you like true crime? Me too. And I know what you're thinking. There's so many true crime pods out there, you've already heard all the stories. Well, what if I were to tell you you're wrong? I'm Leroy Luna, the host of Excuse Me, That's Illegal, the podcast that takes a hardcore look at softcore crime. I've got a back catalog of hundreds of bizarre and hilarious stories just waiting to be heard by you. So come join me. Excuse Me, That's Illegal is available anywhere you get your favorite podcasts, with new episodes dropping on the 10th, 20th, and 30th every month, baby!
You come to the New Yorker Radio Hour for conversations that go deeper with people you really want to hear from, whether it's Bruce Springsteen or Questlove or Olivia Rodrigo, Liz Cheney, or the godfather of artificial intelligence, Jeffrey Hinton, or some of my extraordinarily well-informed colleagues at the New Yorker. So join us every week on the New Yorker Radio Hour, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Ladies and gentlemen.
What are you doing?
What do you mean? I'm making
Just keep it simple.
I'm making the promo.
Just keep it simple. Just say, hey, we're the Brav Bros. Two guys that talk about Bravo.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're the Brav Bros.
No.
Oh.
Dude, stop with the voice. Just keep it simple.
I've seen promos on TV, dude. This is how you get the fans engaged. This is how you get listeners. We're trying to get listeners here. If we just say, oh, we're two dudes that talk about Bravo, people are going to get tired of it already. We need some oomph.
All right, then fine. Let's try to do it with your voice. Brav Bros. Good job.
So we can't talk about Julia without talking about Urkele and the antagonistic nature of this ridiculous man. And I just want to say,
And his ridiculous sweaters.
oh God, first of all, he is so gay, but I'm like, he's the gay you hate.
Yeah.
He's like, oh my God, he's like an insta gay, or like
Yep.
who's like just
Influencer gay.
yeah, influencer gay, like who just like talks down to everyone, takes up all the space at the gay bar. You're trying to dance and his elbows in your face. Like Hercule is like, I'm God's gift to this freaking earth. And he talks down to his two other gay henchmen,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's like giving like Gaston vibes,
Yeah.
you know?
If Gaston also had a little Twinkie boyfriend, you know?
Yes. Yes. And two, same thing, like the gay, like as much as Hercule sucks, he also has the gay quality of he wins everything, but also he wins by cheating. So I'm like, but yeah, he
Yeah,
also
he's pretty terrible.
and he's also like, oh, new young gays, let me bully them because I was bullied. So now I get to
Yes.
bully all the little gay
Yes.
boys.
Hercule is for sure like the kind of gay who is like, he's, you know what he's like people who are like, well, no one paid off my loan, so like I don't think we should forgive
Mhm.
student debt. He's like, well, I had shit growing up, so like it has to suck for you too. And he's like, I'm gonna keep going to these clubs even though I'm way too old and I shouldn't be here anymore.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, he's that gay.
He is that gay and we do not love him.
No,
But
he's
of
the
course, Julia, the
worst.
little lesbian, is like, fuck this misogynistic gay man. Goodbye. And she's like, I've got some new little queer boyfriends. Like, because you know what I mean? It's like, there's a difference between a queer man and
Yeah.
a gay man, you know? And I think that's what, sorry, all the gay boys out there, but you know what I'm talking about.
You know who we mean.
You know.
You know who we mean.
It's not you. It's not you, honey. It's not you. It's okay. But you know what I'm saying. She's like, these are my like little gay boyfriends, and they are not misogynistic, right? They haven't been put through that ringer yet. So she's like, I'm gonna make sure that they stay sweet and kind little gay boys.
I'm gonna teach them about the stars. That's
Mhm.
all. You know
Mhm.
what else I do think while we talk about, because I know you were saying like the whole like Luca and Julia and Alberto sort of triangle, which again, it's not a love triangle, right? Like they don't make it out to be a love triangle at all. What I feel like it is I feel like this is a really good, I think Luca is a great like cautionary tale for baby gays in their first relationship who are like, they're the one. They're the one for me. And you're like, listen, gays, sometimes you come out and you know, met like the one other gay person in your tiny little underwater town, you know, and you're
Mhm.
like, yeah, we're meant to be because they just happen to be the only gay within like a 50-mile radius of you. And I think Luca serves as a good example of the fact that like there might be other horizons to explore, right? Like
Mhm.
I feel like this is a classic like I'm a club gay, like Alberto's like, let's do poppers every night, and Luca's like,
Yes.
whoa, a science book, what's that, right? And then
Mhm.
Alberto's like, how dare you give my boyfriend books, like we were doing just fine dancing
With our poppers, yes.
Right, exactly. Like we were doing just fine in short shorts and mesh tank tops, having a good time every night, and then you came and ruined everything, right? And I
Mhm.
just feel like they're two different people, maybe, you know?
Yes, I see
they're
that
just
for
headed
sure.
in different directions,
And I think
and that's
that's
okay.
yes. And I think that's what sort of, I mean, I don't know how much like we're gonna skip through to get to the end, but I do like that interpretation because it is like clearly Alberto and Luca are in love. And like by the end, Alberto's like, you know what? I love you, but like I want you to be happy.
Yeah.
Right? I want you to go to school and like if we're meant to be, we're meant to be. Like, you see too, like, even at the end, it's like they're writing to each other. Like, they're long distance boyfriends still,
Yeah. Oh,
right?
yeah, for sure.
For sure. But we see like the growth. We see the growth in their relationship. He's holding on tight. And then he's like, you know what? I love you for who you are. Like, I only saw you as this little gay boy I could mold. And now I'm seeing that you're actually a person.
And I think Alberto is realizing that he's like, oh, there are other gay people out there. Like, I don't have to be the sole source of all gay knowledge, you know? He's like, oh, there are I could learn something too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, there's things out there, like maybe I don't know everything about being gay, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I also should have known better. Like, that's, I think, Alberto's...
Did you try to quote Karma again?
Yes.
God damn it, you just snuck that shit in.
I was trying to be sneaky with it. Yeah,
Well,
he's like, you know, he's just learning. That's all. That's all.
Also, I'd like to just discuss the parents also, because in terms of the coming out story, right, we have overbearing mother who's like the stereotypical of like, well, I don't want you to be gay because I don't want you to get hurt.
Yes. It's
right?
too dangerous.
It's
too dangerous out in the world
it's
for
too,
a little gay boy. It's
right,
too
it's too
dangerous
hard
up
for
there.
you. I have to save you from everything. Like, you can't do it on your own. Like, I have to put you in conversion camp and I'm protecting you, right? That's what
The world's
thinks.
full of monsters who might not accept you for being a sea monster.
Mm-hmm. 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 And then they go up to the they turn into humans, right? And they're seeing Luca and they see him.
Sorry, I just, in my new headcanon of this movie, where, like, I'm seeing this whole journey as, like, it's just gay boys, like, going to the club, right? My new picture of this is, like, I'm picturing parents going and being like, I have to get my mesh shirt on, too, and I'm gonna go into this gay club and find my son, right? I'm picturing Maya Rudolph, with just,
in the gay bar being like,
yeah,
where
she's
are
just
you?
doing, like, glow stick rave, you know? Like, she's like, I fit in, no one notices that this is weird.
Yeah, no one knows.
We're under the radar, and just like the big bushy
Yes.
mustache dad being like just them in a club doing like, yeah.
I love it.
They're go-go dancing their way across the stage,
son.
trying
Yes.
to like spot their son in the crowd. Anyways,
Trying to find their
I
son
think
in his
I
gay
think we
outfit.
could really
They can't find him because he
remake
looks
this.
too gay, and they're like, wait, I didn't
Yeah.
recognize you. But they come up, right, and they see Luca thriving, like he's winning this whole little like bicycle race and whatever, and they're super proud of him, and they're like, wow, he can do it on his own. And then they see that like some people do accept Luca, right? And like the final thing is sort of like, I've realized that my son can be gay and happy, and it's okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's such, like, that's why I was like, just bawling my eyes out when they're like, we love you anyways, Luca. And I'm like,
Big Mr. Marcavaldo walks up and is like, I'll protect these gay boys, and Ellie's just sobbing. I could see it.
Yeah. Do we think the dad is also gay?
Oh, that's a good question. Like a big bear gay?
Mm-hmm. Because
I can't tell
he's divorced, right?
That's true. I can't tell if I read him as gay or if I read him as just like he's gonna be like #1 ally dad. Like, I love my gay daughter, right? Like, I've adopted a new gay son now.
Yeah. I sort of like the idea of him being gay just because I love an aggressively masculine gay.
Mm.
You know, I feel like it just subverts a lot of tropes.
Yeah.
You know?
I do
But
like
either
that.
way, he's very protective. And then I do love at the end that we find that those two old women have been fucking gay the whole time.
Those two with the ice creams are like such a mood, honestly.
Mhm.
Like, I just love that there's these two little sea dykes who are like, yeah, we just like to come up to the surface sometime for some ice
For
cream.
a little
Like,
date. Yeah.
just a little ice cream date night in the sunshine. Like, who wouldn't want that? And I'm like,
Mhm.
yes, that is the lesbian representation that we deserve, honestly.
Sea dykes.
I mean, mean,
Ice cream Sea Dykes. That would be a great like Sea Dykes Ice Cream Emporium. Like I feel like that would be a
yes.
great name for an ice cream brand.
That would be. That'd be
Sea
great.
Dykes.
We should just make a shirt. We'll make a,
We'll do
you
it.
know. Yeah.
We'll do it.
We'll open our ice cream empire.
Our next empire to conquer.
Leigh and Ellie's Sea Dykes
Sea
Ice Cream
Dykes Ice
Emporium.
Cream. Love it. What else? I'm like, there is so much gay shit to dive into on this, but what else?
Well, I feel like what I want to know is what they thought wasn't gay about this movie, because I just don't like. I get it, and I get that there's a lot of the like, oh, we accept differences kind of vibes going
Mhm.
on these days, but like I'm curious what they thought the metaphor was of. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause,
Yeah,
I feel like
I guess it's like the question is like, okay, so you're right, because the metaphor was so like, I wasn't myself. I wasn't fully myself. I was hiding. Then I become something else. I literally am keeping a secret. Oh my god, he outs his. Remember the outing scene? I forgot the outing
Yes.
scene. He
Yes.
outs Alberto to protect
And-
himself.
And outs Alberto, and what I think is so funny is that literally that scene where Alberto turns himself back into his sea monster form, right? And then Luca does the whole like, oh no, a monster, and then Alberto runs away because Ercole and the little gay boys behind him are like chucking their spears in the water or whatever. What I think is great about that scene is like Julia has that one moment of being like, what? But then they go back to her house, right? And she's immediately just like chucking water on him.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's not horrified that Alberto was gay. She's horrified that that's how Luca handled it, right?
Yeah, she's like, you just outed your boyfriend,
Yes.
and I know you're also gay.
You
Like,
just
you guys
like
have
outed your
been-
boyfriend and like chucked him to the wolves, and then like now we came back and I'm like, okay, splash, like, okay, listen up. Here's the deal, little Twinkie boy. She's like, what are you doing? Like, you can't. And she's like, this is not a good idea. Like, the people in this town are very homophobic. Like,
Mhm.
you don't want to do this here, you know? Like, it's just that whole scene. Yeah, everything about when you have movies sometimes, right? Like, do you remember when, like, the back in the day, you know, back, like 2 years ago when the first X-Men movie came out?
Oh yeah,
right?
of course.
Back circa, when was that? 1990, whatever. Yeah, so the first X-Men movie came out, right? And they had that very obvious thing where they were like, have you tried not being a
Being
mutant?
gay, yeah.
Right? And like, and they came out and said, and they were like, yeah, we put that in there specifically as a reference to like how people talk to queer people who similarly cannot help being gay, much like a mutant cannot just try not to be, right? Like
Mhm.
it's not a thing. And so I feel like you have these movies where they were like, yeah, because the X-Men comics were written clearly as a commentary on like queerness in America at the time and all sorts of things. And so you put these little nods in. You take this movie, I'm still hung up on this quote you read by the director where
Mhm.
he's like, it's just about differences. And I'm like, what fucking
What
difference?
kind of
Like,
differences? Because
what
the difference,
differences?
because if the difference is a secret that you're hiding from everyone else,
right. That you get sent away to try to change about yourself. Like, what?
I'm like, there's
Are
literally
you trying
nothing.
to be like, this is a movie for the neurodiver, like your ADHD kid that you send to ADHD conversion camp to convince them to just stop being ADHD? I'm like, this is not a thing.
There's,
like, what?
I can't think of anything. Like it can't be about race because that's not a
Right.
secret,
Right.
right? It's not
Nor
something
is
you're
it a thing that you can be like, I'm passing, right? I'm just gonna go up and be like, I am not, no one knows about me. I'm just gonna hide it and keep it on the inside. Like,
Mhm.
it's just, you can't send your kid
There's
away
literally, yeah.
to like make them no longer be a minority. Like, it doesn't work, right? Like
Mhm.
what's the obvious parallel? What's the obvious parallel there?
Yeah, it has
I'm
to be
like,
gay.
if
It
it's
has to
not
be.
being gay or being trans, like I don't. What are
There's
we
literally
doing
no other
here?
option.
What are we doing? Like, what is this? What do we think this story is? And so that's what I'm dying to know. Is like, I get that the whole Disney Pixar thing right now is very big on like inclusion, acceptance, like we're telling story. It's about like women don't need to be married to have value, and like we don't have to do what we don't want, and our parents don't define. Like, okay, sure, fine, yes, great, all those
Yeah.
movies got it. We have emotions, and we do generational trauma, and like, sure, great, 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 love it, love all these good messages, happy to hear it. What the fuck is this an allegory for?
We know.
What do you think? What story do you think you're telling if it's not being gay?
They are not. That's the point. Like, they're clearly telling that story and just trying to fucking cop out and be like, well, we don't want to alienate anyone. Like, it's clearly gay.
It's clearly gay. It's just like, oh, you thought I was just a normal boy, but actually I'm a little more colorful than that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
When you get me wet, I light right up.
Like a Christmas tree.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
I'm just a little upset is all. I'm a little I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed because it's so blatant. It's so in your face.
It's so
and
blatant.
And the fact that you're going to come out here and be like, we just want to accept differences no matter what. And if this dyke and her cat can accept them, then anyone can. And I'm like,
Mhm.
I just don't think I don't think you know what movie you made, you know?
I think they know exactly what movie they made, and I think they just were too scared to say it. That's what I think. They know it's a gay movie.
The new "Make It Gay, You Cowards" is "Say It's Gay, You Cowards."
Yeah,
That's,
just say it's gay.
Just say it's gay.
Just say gay.
Just say
Just
this was gay. It's a gay.
say
He's gay. He's
you're
a gay
gay.
sea monster. Just a little gay sea monster twink.
And he is
out
the
in
cutest
big
little gay
world,
sea monster you've
buying
ever
a
seen.
Vespa. Yeah, he is. They're little cuties. I do love the two of them.
They are so cute and sweet together. I will say Alberto needs to deal with some of his
Daddy
abandonment
issues?
issues.
Yes.
But is that also not quite gay? Quite gay. Right? Yeah, his father literally left him, was like, I'm coming back, and then never came back.
I
Yep.
feel like we could make like a almost shot for shot remake of this movie as like a queer retelling of like Luca runs away from home to go be with his boyfriend, and they live in his boyfriend's like shitty 1-bedroom apartment because
Oh, yeah.
his parents kicked him out of the house, and then they're trying to like, oh, I'm gonna get a job and provide for us, and he's like, no, you keep showing up with fucking rainbow sparkles and suspenders on, and like everyone's gonna know about us, and they're not gonna want to hire us, and I'm gonna
Mhm.
have to do this. And then this little lesbian's like, we could go to college, and his boyfriend's like, I don't think we need college, and like we can take care of ourselves, and we're just gonna move in together and go see the big world, right? And then the parents are like, we accept you, we loved you the whole time, we're sorry we tried to send you to
Conversion
church
camp.
camp. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like
It's-
that's what the
It's
fuck.
what it is.
What fucking movie did I just describe?
It's the exact same movie.
It's
the
the same
exact
movie.
same movie. Yeah,
It's the same movie.
it's the same movie. I agree. But I will say, if they just fucking said it was gay, it's a beautiful gay
great.
story.
It's
It
such
is
a cute gay
so
movie.
beautiful.
Yes.
It's
And
so
honestly,
oh,
I really
love
do
it.
think educational. I think it's educational for baby gays who fall into this. We see this all the
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
Like the first one is not the one always, okay? Like it might have been for Kelsey. It doesn't have to be.
Oh my god. Lee's like, don't tell my wife, but
Don't tell my wife this, but the first dyke you date doesn't have to be your wife, okay? I'm just saying, some of us, it might be the case, but it's not always, okay? And sometimes because I feel like sometimes a lot of movies, like, that's kind of the road you fall down, right? Like every rom-com thing, where you're like,
Yeah.
oh, my first love at 17. Like, they don't always work out, that's all. They don't always work out. I'm not saying they never work out. They just don't always, okay? And this, I think, is a good education for those gays where it's like, listen, if your Twinkie boyfriend just wants to do poppers, fuck till 5 a.m. every night, like, maybe you could go to college. That's all.
That's all.
That's all. I'm just throwing it out there as an idea, okay? Just a crazy
Just one
idea.
crazy idea. Mhm.
You did make a beautiful gay movie. I wish they would just take credit
Say
for
it's
it.
gay, exactly.
Just
so,
own up to it.
which characters are we shipping, Leigh?
Oh, I mean, come on. It's
Luca and Alberto.
all the way.
Lucerto.
Lucerto.
Alberca.
Albuca.
Love it. I do love
we're doing great.
the Italian of it all is amazing. Also,
Lucarto. I think it's got to be something along those veins. Yeah. I also ship the ice cream dykes. The ice cream sea dykes.
Sea dykes.
Yes, I love.
We
them.
love them. Anyone else?
I think they have an occasional third with his grandma, but we don't have to go there. It's
Oh,
okay.
for sure. Grandma really gets lit. Yeah. Dead.
Grandma doing poppers
But-
in the corner.
Grandma was like, yeah, I love going up to that gay bar. I've been there a lot of times.
I wish we had someone to ship Julia with. I want a sequel that explores
I do
more of
feel like a
Julia's
nice
story.
sequel with Julia, and you could see her girlfriend at school. It would be super
Yes.
nice.
Do you just have like do you relate deeply and spiritually to like a tiny little redheaded dyke always?
Yes. I was like,
Yeah.
yep, that's me. Julia, that's me. But here's the thing. I don't relate to the pasta part because when I was in I don't know, I must have been in 3rd grade or something, I won a pizza eating contest. So I would have beat
You would have demolished.
I would have demolished the pasta, yeah.
Hot stuff.
I
Ellie.
know. But we can agree. Luca should have been gay.
Should have been gay.
Make it gay, you cowards. All right, ready for our Q and gay?
I'm so ready.
Q and gay.
All right, question number 1. What would you do during the Porto Rosso Cup? A, bike, B, swim, or C, eat pasta?
Okay, here's the problem. I love swimming. I love biking. For some reason, I'm a fairly athletic enough person, right? And those are two things that I am just not fast at. I am not I love so I used to live in the water as a kid endlessly. I do not move.
Yeah.
I am not hydrodynamic for some reason. I'm just not a fast swimmer. So I feel like I want to say swim, but depending on who's on the team, I feel like eating pasta might be my contribution. I don't know.
All right. I would for sure be the pasta eater. Let's be real. Put me
Okay,
on
then
that
I'll
pasta
swim
eating
and
leg.
we'll find someone to bike for us.
Yes.
Okay, question 2, Ellie. Who's the gayest out of A, Luca, B, Alberto, C, Julia, or D, Ercole?
This is a very difficult question. I think I'm just going to go first instinct. Luca. They're all gay though.
They're all gay. There's just a pile of
They're
gays.
all just so many gays. I just feel like because the journey is about Luca's discovery, I feel like we see more of his gayness explored. So that's why I went with Luca.
So true.
All right, question number 3. What would you do for a Vespa? A, nothing. B, eat a shit ton of pasta. Or C, leave your family. Or D, get a job.
Listen, I feel like I would just be the boring gay who gets a job. I mean, just an unexplored avenue that they didn't even consider because I really feel like
they're also children, so.
Sure, they're children, but Julia had a job, right? Julia was getting paid for
True.
her entry money. I just think when they're they take Julia's dad out on the boat and they're like, the fish are actually over there. And then he comes back with this insane haul of fish. I feel like they could really team up and make something happen there. And I think they could actually sort of franchise a fish business and buy all the Vespas they want. That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
Okay. Question 4, Ellie. Would you rather be A, sea monster, B, human, or C, a deep sea fish?
I feel like it's got to be a sea monster because sea monsters are gay.
Yes, true.
Right?
Correct answer.
Yeah. Humans are boring. And deep sea fish
You want to
are
be colorful, not see-through. Okay.
Yeah, deep sea fish also I feel like is a are like conservative, like church-going folk, you know?
Yeah.
Not me. Final question, Leigh. Who's your favorite sea sheep? A. Enrico, B. Mona Lisa, or C. Giuseppe?
Oh, they're all so good, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm choosing to believe that Enrico also escaped and is out living his best gay fish life somewhere. So
All right.
I'm going to go with Enrico. Why not?
I love Giuseppe. It's just so fun to say. Giuseppe.
But Mona Lisa also does put all the little tiny fish in her mouth.
Yeah.
She's the one that eats
Mona
all
Lisa.
the little fish.
Oh, yeah. Mona Lisa is a protector.
Is it protector or is she trying to eat them? Which
Both.
one?
Both.
Send us your answers at Let's Hang Out.
Dead. But yes. I'm so happy we got to talk about this because I really love this film and I just wish they had just gone out with it and said it was gay, you know? Because it's
a real missed opportunity.
opportunity.
Win one for the gays here.
I know. Honestly, we claim it. Luca is ours. Yeah. You can't tell me otherwise.
Yeah, what's the director's name? Fuck you, buddy. Who is this? Enrico Casarosa. Sorry, Enrico. Luca's ours now. You lost him.
Remember, you can answer all of our Q&A questions on our Twitter at Lez Hang Out Pod.
Let me hear you say hip, 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 we're gay.
We love hearing from all of you. We love continuing to build this community, and we just want to shout out some of our favorite things every episode. And we want to just shout out everyone who had so much to say about our posts and social media things on the episode we did last week on A League of Their Own. Listen, we were all up in our feels about that as well. A lot of you know we don't do Les Essentials episodes until something is finished, like until it's complete or until the run, it's sort of like done running. And that was rough. So a lot of you had similar comments to make about how upset, disappointed, angered we all were about the fact that A League of Their Own was canceled so mercilessly, so heartlessly. So shout out to Rihanna and Orlando, who both had similar sentiments on some of those posts, because you're correct. You're correct. It's bad, and we should say it.
Say it louder for the gays in the back. As always, I want to thank our Lesbian Jesus patrons: Mark Foster,
Lizette Stye,
Adi Benitez,
Sophia Phillips,
and Armani Gucci.
And our King Princess patrons, Amy and Ellen.
And Andrea Doucette, thank you so much as always for supporting us. We could not continue to make the show without you.
Remember, you can find us on all the social medias. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok at Lez Hang Out Pod.
You can email us at lezhangoutpod@gmail.com.
You can check out our website at lezhangoutpod.com.
Whatever app you use for podcasts, make sure you subscribe so you'll be the first to know when new episodes drop.
We also have videos going up on our YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe at youtube.com/lezhangoutpod to catch those.
Lez Hang Out is an independently produced show hosted by us with audio production by me. Our production assistant is Krista Murison, and Twitter shenanigans and various other odd jobs by Leigh Holmes Foster.
If you want to help support the podcast, the first thing you can do is leave us a rating and a review on whatever app you use to listen to podcasts. A, we love reading the reviews, and B, it helps new people find the show.
If you want to support us on Patreon, we would love to see you there. You have all kinds of cool perks like ad-free episodes, bonus episodes. We have 21 up right now. You can also join our patron-only Discord chat, and it's super fun in there. You can join at bit.ly/lespatreon.
If you want to get some Lez Hang Out merch for Pride Month, there's no better time to show your pride than Pride Month. You can get all of our designs in two places now. You can find them as they've always been in our TeePublic. You can find that at bit.ly/lezshop. All of our designs, you can get them on tees, on tanks, on totes, on mugs, on all sorts of stuff. We also mentioned last week that we are starting our new shop where we are going to be moving a bunch of those designs and showing some new designs and new options of merch and things up on our website. So if you head to lezhangoutpod.com/shop, you can find some of our new designs, new offerings, and buy them directly from our website.
And remember, we have a queer production company making queer podcast musicals with guaranteed happy endings that you can find everywhere at $beanproud.
You can also check out our website, dollarbeanproductions.com.
You can listen to all the episodes of our first show, The Flame, on any podcasting app.
And you can check out the new run of Journey to the Heart starting today anywhere you listen to podcasts.
And if you want to help support us in making more musicals, you can join our Patreon at bit.ly/dollarbeanpatreon.
If you want to follow us individually, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at LSH Foster.
And you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Ellie Brigida. With that, I'm Ellie.
And I'm Leigh. And let's hang out again soon.
Let's hang out.
Listening to a podcast should be time well spent, and I promise it will be if you'll give this podcast a try. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in every episode, I talk with leading experts on topics I know you will find fascinating. From why people can't keep secrets, what your favorite music says about you, why your pet acts in strange ways, and so much more. Something You Should Know is designed to give you information you can use in your life and give you great intel that you can share with others. I'm told it's a binge-worthy podcast. And with over 1,000 episodes, there's a lot to binge on. Something You Should Know has been ranked in the top of the Apple podcast charts consistently for a long time. I know you're going to like this. I just need to get you to try it. Something You Should Know. It's available wherever you listen to podcasts.